Thank you, everybody, for coming. It is a beautiful day today, and a great day to be able to celebrate what we're going to celebrate. But I want to take a moment and ask you all to join me in an applause for Alban, who's worked undauntedly and entirely to put this and to the values that Lori established almost 30 years ago. Those values still true today. The values that Lori established then was hard work, perseverance, a can-do attitude, and give back to your community. And that is what she stood for and instilled in children and their families that were participants of the El Toro Youth Center. Before I continue with my 45-minute presentation, I would like to take a few moments to thank Greg, Catholic Charities, Mayor Steve Tate, the City Council, Los Amigos del El Toro, and for all of you who have been long-term supporters of the El Toro Youth Center and Lori's endeavor and her efforts, I want to thank you, and I'd like you to give yourselves and each of you an applause for attending today. Popular author Vivian Green once said, "Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain." Today we've heard about Lori's tenacity, her ability to command attention, her tough love approach to guiding children and their families, her continued advocacy for her children when interacting with the schools in our community. And how she gave no ground when pursuing an issue of equity and fairness. She forged new avenues for growth and education, not only for those who attended El Toro, but for anyone who was willing to pay heed to her wisdom. She was unrelenting when pursuing justice, undaunted when seeking support for her center. At her services, we heard from many who were touched by Lori's generosity, always volunteering to support causes she believed in, and giving advice and guiding people to take care of themselves and to be healthy. But Lori wasn't perfect. Oh no, no way. For example, she's a Dallas Cowboy fan. On days when they played each other, we'd watch the same game, but on different TVs and in different rooms. Lori loved soap operas and political television programs equally. At home, we often thought she may be suffering from ADHD and or ADD. Some of you may have experienced this for yourself when she would ask a question of you and then walk away before you responded. Did it happen to you? It happens to us in the house all the time. Lori loves her grandchildren, Isabel, CJ, and Bobby. She spoils them without regard to the consequences. For example, when our granddaughter Izzy, short for Isabel, started softball, she plays both catcher and pitcher, not at the same time. And Lori, for an incentive for Izzy to play hard, would reward her and pay her for every strike she threw, with an added bonus when it resulted in a strikeout by the batter. She would also pay for every hit she got, and big hits got more money, and if Izzy threw out somebody at second, that was huge. Now you're thinking that's pretty good incentive, and not spoiling because Izzy would be earning the money. Well, you're half right. The spoiling came with Izzy because she paid her $20 a strike. And a tournament over the weekend playing as many as 6 games, well, you do the math. One day after Lori's passing, I attended a tournament in Stockton, and I had missed the first game and met Veronica, my daughter, and Izzy for lunch. And while Izzy was eating her pasta, Veronica leaned over to me and whispered and said, "I owe her $90. I said, "What?" And Izzy, without missing a spoonful, said, "Granny would have given me more." Needless to say, I made several trips to the ATM before that took place. Today is a special day and the anniversary of her passing. This dedication to her legacy brings the recognition that she deserves, but also to the community that genuinely conveys that El Toro is a true asset to this community. In the midst of the challenges that confronted Lori and El Toro, she always showed a positive attitude to her staff and to the participants of the center. Despite that she would plead and persuade everyone she came in contact with to support El Toro, there were some dark moments to the very existence of the program. But Lori would fight the battle relentlessly. And after some particular tough skirmishes when her head was down, all it would take is a pair of brown eyes looking up at her from one of her kids to give her the resurgence to continue the fight. In those moments, she demonstrated her resilience and her determination to carry on. She learned how to dance in the ring. Lori loved her family, but it was not without conditions. For example, when she slept in on Saturday and Sunday mornings, nobody should make any noise at all. "Hey, quiet down out there, I'm trying to sleep," she would call out. Each of us would sneak around and eventually go outside. In addition to loving her family and the El Toro, the kids, her next big love was the San Francisco Giants. And if she were here today, we'd be at Giant Fan Fest. And come to think of it, she may be there with them right now instead of here with us. Most of you knew Lori very well, and she loved each and every one of you. You were her friends, team members, colleagues, mentors, students, and a good part of the reason she got up every morning to take on the world. Lori was a living example of Vivian Green's words. Life is not about waiting for a storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. This testament to Lori's legacy encourages us all to continue to learn how to dance in the rain. On behalf of my family, Veronica, Robert, Maggie, and especially for her grandkids, Isabel, CJ, and Bobby, we thank you, the City of Morgan Hill, Catholic Charities, and each and every one of you who's attending today and who volunteered in one way or another to support the center. We thank you very much.